In this live coding session, let's finish off what we're building for our CI system for an iOS app, and then let's start work on the CD side of things. So working on both continuous integration and continuous deployment tools. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quality Coding live stream. My name is John Reed. I am a coach and a technical trainer for software teams. What does that mean? I think I mentioned that sometimes, but before I do, hey Marcus, good to have you, and Mudshark as always. Looks like we are sparse today. Maybe not. Rick, Al, Ignacy, welcome, folks. Good to have you. So, when I was coming up through being an individual contributor, developer in companies, which is most of my career, I'd never heard of coaching. I actually begged for a coach to come in and was rejected. But what is a coach? For most people, when Agile has become only about sort of product management and project management stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are some very clever and good people out there who do project management type Agile stuff. But my thing is that the code, ultimately, at some point, your code's going to become the bottleneck. It's probably not the bottleneck when you start. Probably all the other stuff is, in terms of how you work together, how you communicate, how you work as a team. There are a lot of bottlenecks to solve in there, but at some point, the code becomes a bottleneck. And that's where technical coaching comes in, to help your team learn, whatever they want to, whatever steps the team is ready to press into to become skilled crafters. Anyway, let's get going. What have I got in terms of, you like my mug? Yeah, Darth Vader, I am your father. In terms of announcements, not much except to say I always have my Mastodon address visible, but I've never really talked about, like, come on over, folks. Like, stop giving Twitter your business. Get out of there. It's a shit show. And I don't mean a shit show in the good sense, like my good friend Stephen Baker. You can watch his live coding on YouTube called The Shit Show. I kid you not. He's doing some Ruby stuff. No, Twitter became, what it is. Mastodon, on the other hand, feels like Twitter in the old days. The difference between Mastodon and Twitter is that Twitter is like a single server and you sign up there. Mastodon, there are hundreds of servers and you have to pick one, and that's probably where people stop and they're like, I don't know what to do. Well, if you don't know what to do, and if you're an iOS developer, come on over to iOS Dev Space. It's a good place for iOS developers. And that's where you can find me, and where I am more chatty there than anywhere else. It's fun. Come on over. Hello, looks like a few more folks have joined. Thank you, Marcus. It is a pretty good server. And reminder to myself, It's kind of like when I got excited about the internet and when it was new, and I told my brother, who's more of a business head, I'm like, oh, there's this thing, you know, computers talk to computers. You can look at anything. And he's like, who's paying for this? And I said, it's free. And he goes, no, it's not. Nothing is free. Somebody is paying for it. And that's true for these things. These Mastodon servers. Somebody's paying for them. So maybe we ought to chip in, and maybe I should say thank you with some cash to whoever did this. Hey, Ivan. Darn it. I thought oh, wait. I haven't changed you a suspicious user. I want to try to do that now. But I thought there was supposed to be some controls here. I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know, I mean, you're going to be suspicious forever, man, if I don't get you out of there. Anyway, yeah, I was able to recover last time's recording. Thank goodness. Twitch offers a way to download your things. So, an open collective, thank you. All right, I will check that out. All right. Let's do what we're here for. We are, oh, I forgot to set up to go to my Miro. Hang on a second. Let me do that real fast. I forgot to do that. Here we go. There we are. All right, I wanted to get to our discovery tree so that we can see where we are in this project, which claims to be about Swift UI and claims to be about TDD, but those things are still down the road because we are doing project setup. Follow the orange or dark yellow boxes down the tree to find what is currently in progress, right? So we're working on project setup. We're doing CI, we're doing GitHub Actions, and this was the problem we had. Oh, and this was the good call out from El Tigre. I don't know if he's here or they are here. I have no idea who it is. Add some steps to the CI. Yeah, so we already did one. We did make a script to run the tests. I got that. But in terms of actions goes, we need to specify Xcode 15. Here's where we are. The build failed. Yeah, there was this thing about it was a little hard to tell what was going on until one of you said, what Xcode are we working on? And we can actually see it says Xcode 14.2 here, right? So how do we specify what Xcode to use? And it's funny, I don't think GitHub offers a built-in way. Instead, they say you go search and let's see, GitHub Actions, select Xcode. And there's this marketplace. Yeah, so thank you. Let's look at that. Whoops. Let me open that. Where is it? macOS. I thought it was somewhere in here. Well, it's somewhere off of here. These are all the images that you can run. And somewhere there's the macOS one. Yeah, we go here maybe. Here we go. And we see what's available in terms of Xcode. And Xcode 15.01 is available, but 14.3.1 is the default. It's like, how do you get that? So there is a marketplace for actions, and it makes me a little nervous because this is yet another dependency. And this is one of the things I want to do with our tooling, is to try to avoid external dependencies. That's why I haven't pulled in Fastlane. I'd rather go without it. I've lived this long without it. I'd rather continue to live without it, because it's like Fastlane, which requires this, which requires, it just sort of goes on forever once you start pulling at the dependency tree. I think this is the one I use. I don't know what this other one is. Yes, Maxim Lobanov's Setup Xcode. So let's see how I do it. Where have I done it? Hang on. I know I had to do this for OC Makito. Here we go. Setup Xcode version. And here you can see I had to select which one. So that's how you do it out of the box. You can sudo things? Really? Shall we try this? On cleanup, yeah, I don't really know what the cleanup step does. I just presume that every image just gets torn down and restarted, but what if if you're doing another job? I assume it starts fresh. This might be good. Let me try this, Dustin. Thank you for this suggestion. Let's try to figure it out. So this is our script. Show current version of Xcode. So I think what I'd like to see is, can we need a name and an action. The action is going to be not 14.2, but 15.01. So will this do it? Clean that up. And what do I call this? Set up Xcode version. All right, so let's try this. You see, I do have a step to say what is the version of Xcode we are using. Let's give it a try. Let's go back to Git inbox. And this is an environment change. Was there extra space? Oh, thank you. Do you know what I did? Thank you, Al. That's the old Objective-C programmer in me lining up colons. Thank you. YAML is sensitive to spaces. So thank you for that. Let's let me stop that because I don't trust it. And let's add that again. And now let's try use Xcode select to set Xcode version. Let's try it and see. This is one of the problems with when you start doing anything that's up on a box in the cloud. Hey, Theo. The feedback time is much slower, and so there are probably ways around it for some things, but ultimately you gotta push it and you gotta see, and it takes a little while, especially when you're cheap and free like me. GitHub Actions are free for open source. So let's see. Oh, I have to build. I forgot. I don't have it triggered yet. Let me put that in as an action in our thing. So I'm gonna say we are working on this. But this is trigger automatically. I did see that, Marcus, that Xcode Cloud, thank goodness somebody had some sense in Apple to say you had 25 compute hours for free. With that may be something now that I'm willing to try. I'm already paying them $99 a year, which already feels a little silly. But at least then now I can play around with it. I'm a cheap bastard, I'll tell you that. Trigger automatically is one thing. What else do we want to do? Oh, let me trigger it before we do anything. Trigger the dumb thing. Go. You did TDD and C back at year 0 of coding. Wow. There are parts of C that I miss. But then there are parts of Objective-C that I really miss. Circle CI. Yeah. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be spaghetti, right? If you can make it what you want. You can even do object-oriented programming in C. Objective-C did. You don't have to build up a full messaging system like Objective-C, but you can have an object that associates methods with that is functions with a thing. But there are ways to do callback functions, right? Yeah, it's not built in. It's not built in. Function pointers. Function pointers are the magic. What else was I thinking here? Trigger automatically. Cancel on I'll talk about this. Canceled, and if we are successful, I do want a button status, sort of a status in README. These are some of the things I want to build up. All right. C++ gets hairy. My unfortunate attitude, I lived in C++ for a long time. I became a master of it. I interviewed lots of candidates who in C++. And it's a language because because it's a multi-paradigm language. It's like, well, then let's throw in everything. And I'm getting a little worried about Swift now. It is not a simple language. Objective-C is simple as heck. It's so beautiful. Ah. And it looks like we failed. Let's see. Okay, so that didn't do it. I failed right away. I could have come here probably pretty quickly. So there's probably some trick to do it. Ultimately, that's probably how these things are working. Are we on macOS 13? I don't know. I am saying use the latest, macOS latest, so I'm pretty sure we are. So let's try the other thing, and that involves using Maxim's action here. Now, Ruby. I've only done this much Ruby. I feel like it is one of the things I admire about the Ruby community is that they are serious about TDD. How about that? One thing to note about any actions is this @ is the version number. Because, you know, if you change to a new version, the parameters might change. And it's also a place that you want to keep updated for security reasons. Let's say something has a security hole in it. Well, you want to patch that thing. So let's find out what the action is. Latest version 160. I think that's good. 160. Okay. Let's fix up the indentation. So we have this action which uses something on the GitHub marketplace and says, pull this in as a dependency. I don't want to do it. I could probably learn what it does and get the pseudo thing running. Maybe like in the image slash applications actually lives somewhere else or something. So let's try this. And I'm just going to do it as a one-liner. Here, you know, I'm going to say lowercase e for environment change and use Xcode select action instead. Push. And it is not triggered automatically, John. So come back here. And let's trigger it. And let's see what it does. We'll dig in. And that was fairly quick. One of the things that about working with the free version of GitHub Actions is, you know, we're the last in line. So Do, 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 do. We're the last in line on a slower machine. Hey, Junaid. Great to have you, my friend. Other folks who are lurking, welcome. Say hello in the chat. It's good to and you know, as you can see, it's interactive here. You can ask me anything and I'll go off on a little rabbit trail. Okay, so GitHub Actions. This is part of it. The cheap version. Back of the line, slow. Hello, Bob. Good to have you. I'm just waiting for it to check out. First time chatter, Miguel. Welcome. Good to have you. What do you want to talk about while we wait for... This is where, yeah, this is where companies, or if you're willing to plop down some money, you could, I think you can say, you know, I'll pay you money. Get me onto a better machine. Circle CI has options. I think, does Circle have self-hosting options also? There are different ways you can cook this when yeah. This is slow. And it's probably what's happened is because I've just submitted a job. It's just like, yeah. Cool off. Let the other free folks go take their turn first. This is long just to check out. But I've never done this because I haven't been responsible for setting up a corporate build system, but it is one of the things that I think companies could spend money on. Like the money spent would be immediate savings. Immediate savings. Does GitLab have anything like this? I don't know. Bitbucket does, you can do self-hosted. Yeah. GitLab lets you do self-hosted. So you could set up a really fast machine in a closet somewhere, like something super fast, and get at a big fat internet pipe. Hey, you know, Mac Minis. This is running on a Mac Mini right now. I guarantee it. I've walked... Why is it taking so long? Let me refresh this. I don't quite trust it. Okay. It didn't update. Darn it. It didn't update. So here I am waiting for it to automatically reload, and it didn't reload until I refreshed automatically, manually. Well, this is a bummer. And I've seen this before with Xcode on GitHub, where the image says one thing. Yeah, the image says one thing, but in terms of the description, but what's actually available doesn't match. So it runs that. Thank you, Dustin, for looking into that. So it's for doing the work that I was too lazy to do, which is when you pull in a dependency, what is it actually doing? So macOS 12. Even though we asked for macOS latest, we're getting 12. So I think what I need to do is downgrade the project so that it can run on 14.2. How about that? Yeah. Ugh. This is a pain. All right. I don't think we're going to get to CD today. So the thing here, somebody rang. Thank you for I heard the sound of like a subscription or a follow, but I didn't see what I usually see. If it's fun. Hey, Janos. Oh, Janos subscribed. Welcome and thank you. All right, so downgrade project to Xcode 14. This is what we need to do. Let's have a look. Thank you, Bob. Whoop. I keep doing that. Don't click. Open it in a new window. Oh, no. Where'd my chat go? Come back. Back. History back. Backward. Oh, come on. All right, hang on. I blew away the chat. But I may as well open this up now. Tools. Come on, Xcode. Yeah. Oh, well. 14.3.1. That's what we're going to go for. Oh, there's the chat. Weird. I don't know if there's a way, because I am asking for macOS latest. You'd think latest means latest. And I've run into this problem before. Yeah, that was back. What Rick posted was back in April, right? And I'm using macOS latest. So, boo. This is very silly. I don't need that. You can try today by setting, whoop. Oh, sorry, Dustin. I will bless you as a trusted person. Basically, anyone who's had a conversation here, you become automatically trusted. Well, not automatically. I have to put you through my moderator bot to say it's okay. Let that person post links. It's in beta though. You can try today by setting macOS 13. All right. Wow. Pipe train incoming. This is the second time I'm seeing one of these gifting things. Go ahead, Junaid. Thank you so much. Shall I try this macOS 13 instead of latest? We gotta keep poking this. Otherwise, we're not gonna know what's going on. Use macOS 13 or tell GitHub Actions to use macOS 13. It will, yeah, that's good enough. Let's try it and see. All right. I should have known. Here I'm like, we can nail this. We can finish off all the things. I say. This time we're not going to trust the spinny thing. Okay, so Junaid, you managed with, yeah, with Xcode version latest. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. So latest apparently doesn't mean latest. Let's note that in the tree here. So this is not downgrade. This is specify macOS 13. And I think then this is done and this is done. Right? Oh, thank you, folks. Now, it's running the tests. Yeah, I don't know what they do there. Actually, probably what they do is they spend all their time focusing on AI because that's where the money is and that's where they're told to make money. Okay, so what's it doing? We have set up job, checkout, set up the Xcode version, confirm it here in this step, and now so here it is. Checkout, the names become like set up Xcode version, and we are using the script we set up so that we could use the same script both locally and remotely. Remember, Junaid? I think you were having trouble, and I hope you sorted it out. As a way to sort of reduce the distance between local builds and remote builds. And it's still going. But remember too, this is on a slow machine. Probably by slow, I mean a Mac Mini. I have been in a server farm. What do you call them? Those secure server places, and seen that where Apple used to make powerful Macs that would just fit on a what you call a blade, and it would just sort of slide in like all the others. Instead, Mac Minis became the thing to do. A data center. Thank you, Marcus. Mac Minis became the thing, and they had to mount them. And now I think Apple just announced that they were going to support nice slot-in blade servers again. There's something about that. Okay, is it working? Is it working? It seems to be. Yeah, Xserves. Yeah. The apples. Apple slice. Nice. What's it doing? I'm just impatient. I am impatient. Dustin. Okay, let me refresh. Weird again? Let me get out of here. Sometimes I've found like I need to go back to the master page or the main page, and I see it's like green. Using GitLab a lot more. How has that been? Does it feel? How does it feel? GitLab. I've only used GitLab a couple of times because the folks I was going to work with had set up a GitLab repo, right? But I'm curious how it feels. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Welcome to the quality coding stream where we sit and stare at a server. But this is This is like work, right? Oh my gosh. So, Marcus, it's all right. Those CI stuff is through Xcode Cloud or Circle CI for me. Functionality feels similar. Highlights the importance of fast feedback with tests, and it highlights, you know, I wish there were a way to do this locally. Maybe there is. I think there is. Obscure, maybe hard to set up. Ultimately, it has to come through here, though. One way or the other. I keep refreshing. This is really weird because, oh, there. It took that. Oh, you know what it is? Remember Yeet? Remember Xcode 15? Oh my gosh. Xcode 15 is slow on first launch, and Yeet fixes this or improves this. And that's what we were doing. We were sitting there waiting for the longest time, for minutes, as the simulator sat there and did who knows what. Oh no, I didn't want to have to set it up here. Okay, but at least it completed. Okay, it completed, but it's still showing the spinny thing. So here we go back, and there we say green. How do I get the badge? Xcode Cloud will be worth the test. Yeah, 25 hours free. Was that per month? When I saw 25 hours free, I assumed it was like per year. Well. Your Apple may be winning this cheap bastard over. Huh. Although it'll still have the same problem as far as Yeet goes. Ah, darn it. This is a question. I'm going to put it in here. Can we Yeet? Impacted less? I doubt it. Simply because, well, I would expect some things to be faster. But Xcode 15 is just sort of broke. I'm going to remove this card that I put in here from El Tigre's comment last time because we're fleshing this out. 2 to 3 minutes would be acceptable, right? And that was in Xcode Cloud? Wow. Let me try to get the status badge in. If we can find out how to do that. Does anyone remember? So what is Yeet? Yeet D. It is a daemon. Someone, I have a blog post going out in 2 days about the work we did together, about all this. I turned it into a blog post. It was it's going to be a long one because it's all these things, most of these things. But somebody found that on first launch, Xcode 15 for a simulator sits there, and there are certain processes related to the simulator that are just sitting there chewing up the CPU. Solved using 16.4 runtime. Yeah, so there it is. Thank you, Marcus. So it's really brute force in that if you look at the code for Yeet, what it's doing is it's polling every 5 seconds to look for a set of processes, and it kills them. which is probably not great because aren't they there for a reason? You know, what are they doing? What the danger is what functionality related to the simulator are we losing by killing those? However, in my tests, it saved me 20 seconds. That's on my M1 Max machine. Out in, let's take a look at it. Because, oh, darn it. Open a new window. Thank you. There were some instructions about, so here is the yeet D. And there were some instructions. Oh, it's about setting up your own images. So you run pre-warm simulators to set up the thing, and then if you make an image from that for your own server, then you'll be fine. I don't think it's going to work for us. Yeah. So it'll be slow. Xcode 15.1 is should be coming out soon. It makes it better. It improves the time, but in my experience, yeet D still makes a difference with the 15.1 beta. When 15.1 rolls out, I'll try it again, and we'll see how it goes. So I think this is a no, that this is going to be a punt. I don't think I put purple for punt up here. Let me move these a little bit. Yes, it is first run only, which of course doesn't help much with a build server because it starts up fresh, right? Punt. Punt meaning we're not going to do it. We decided not to do it. That's so here we punted removing the host app for now. We may come back to that. Can we yeet D? No. Let's do the badge, the status badge, because I think it'll be fast. Question is how? Where do we get status badges from? Here it is. Thank you, Dustin. You're right there. Let's copy this and come over to code. We'll just do it right here. And do I want it to say build? Yep. Thank you. What do I have? I'm looking for some other examples of mine. Yeah, okay. Let's just try it. Let's try it. If I preview this, we can see, there we go, and we got the nice badge there. So that's documentation. Or is it part of the environment? I think it's sort of, it's documentation. It's here in the README. So let's say this is add build badge to the README. Yay! We're starting to get somewhere finally. Trigger automatically. And let's do these together because it is just taking too long and I don't want to stick around that long. Trigger automatically, meaning we want this to fire off on push. But the other one that I want to do is if it's still in the middle, and there are advantages to doing this and not doing this. If if the build server is still in the middle of building and we push another time, I would like it to kill the first job. This would be something to discuss as a team, of whether or not it makes sense for you, because you may want every single push, the reporting on them, so that you know if there is a failure, exactly which one failed. Me, I'm just trying to, it's just me. So, and it's slow. So I'm inclined to cancel on save. Let's do both of these at once. Let's pull. Did it really? Oh, wrong. Here we go. Now, so on push on main, and here's the other magic. Cancel any in progress workflows for this workflow and branch. And I like this, so I'm gonna pull this. I'm just gonna copy this, put it under workflow dispatch. I'm not gonna talk about, actually, I'll go ahead and leave that there. I don't anticipate any pull requests, but we'll leave it there. So this should take care of it, where it's like on workflow dispatch. Is that all we need? It doesn't need anything else. On push, so this is, on is like what triggers the action. So we trigger it on push, we trigger it on pull requests for what branch. No other parameters. Thank you. Hey, Sinead. Thank you, sir. That's very kind. Ah, all right. You are a kind person, and I appreciate you. So let's get both of these in. And we'll just do it all at once. So this is trigger build on push and PR, and cancel when concurrent. Something like that. Now, let's try a push. And watch what happens over in action land. There it goes. So the trigger is working. I also would like to test the cancel. So let's do something else to test the canceling. What can we do that's super easy and dumb? How about a change to the README? I don't know what to put in here. Maybe just a blank line. This will be blank line, touch. Could we touch something? Probably. I'm gonna. No. Because, gosh. Thank you, folks. Appreciate the subscriptions. A touch alone will not work, I don't think. But let's find out. Let's find out. So touch, if you're not familiar with touch, that's to update the date of a file. So for example, if I touch the XC test plan, the date will update to today, but I think the status will be the same because GitHub, not GitHub, Git doesn't look at file times. It compares the content and says, is this different from that? So it didn't actually, is not enough just to touch something. So let's continue with this plan A, but it's good to try things. That's what we're here for. So this is, and I presume it's still, excuse me. I presume it is still building. Let's confirm that it's just going to sit out there and do something for a long time. Probably stuck on run tests. It's stuck. This may not cancel it because it's in the middle, but let's try it and see. Let's have a go and see how successful we are. I'm going to call this, it's not really a documentation change. It's still sort of testing the environment. So change readme to test build cancel. Right? So that will fire off another job here, another run. The question is, how soon will this action notice that it's been canceled? Or is it stuck in the middle of a command and therefore, we won't get the chance to interrupt it? That is also possible. Well, let's watch it for a little bit. It is at the end of our time here. This ended up consuming all everything, but are we basically done? So we're waiting to confirm this, but other than that, we are hopefully done with, you come back up, done with CI. Perhaps we have to wait. Get up. Oh my gosh. You're cracking me up. Yeah, my theory is that when an action is going, oh, hey, it worked. Look at that. The operation was canceled. Oh, I want to scroll. I don't want to scroll. Get me out of here. And now we should be seeing there. So it worked. It worked. I didn't know that you could have a run timeout. That seems a little scary right now because the timeout is because the job takes so long. I'm afraid of like how much should it take? But I didn't know that. So that's good to know. So this is working. We can mark this as, here we go. Here's how it works with a discovery tree. We've done everything. We've punted this thing. So we say this is now done. Everything here is green. We go up one level. This is now done. Everything here is green. We go up one level. So I'm going to say, for now, this is done. 30 minutes. And that CD will be the next step. There's more I'd like to do on CI. And that is, but I think it should happen later. It should, it's not the immediate value, but let me tell you what it is. I'll show you with approval tests, where Llewellyn Falco, who is the creator of approval tests, and I just worked with him on the Swift version of it. He showed me how he figured out that you could set up Dependabot, that is the GitHub's bot to check for what dependencies have updated, that there is a way to set up a bit of YAML and let me go into one of the builds. You see it, for approval tests, we do macOS and iOS tests. If those pass, we try building different packages. If those pass, we auto-merge anything that Dependabot updates. And that requires setting up some keys and so forth. But that means that you don't end up with some security hole that just sits there. We really want to be updating everything as much as you can, unless it fails the build, in which case you'll know right away that some downstream dependency failed your build. And it's like, well, what dependencies do we have? We don't have anything. Yes, we do. We have them right in our workflow for GitHub Actions. I've seen it update checkout. I've seen this system update the checkout module. And if Maxim decides to, he needs to update this, that's still something I want to come back to, by the way. Thank you, Dustin, is like, can we now get rid of this dependency? Always a good thing. Anyway, that is all for today. We did it. Woo, woo. Eventually that should go green, but I'm not going to keep you here to watch that. Thank you for joining. If you're watching after the fact on the YouTubes, give this a like, give me a follow. Thank you for the Twitch subscribers. Wow, that's you're very kind. This will be the last stream of the year. I've got family coming in a week, and so I'm going to be with them and not with you. Sorry. And then come New Year, we'll see how it goes, because it sounds like some family will be staying on longer. But at that point, I think I would like to get back into the rhythm of this. So thank you so much. I see your messages, and I always go back and I reread the chats afterwards. So I really appreciate your involvement, your participation, and you. I feel like some of you I've actually coded with, and others of you, hey, Mr. William Wake. Tip of the hat to you, sir. Bill is my senior who retired from Industrial Logic right before I joined. So, all right. And I managed to get the recording this time, so I don't have to pull it down from Twitch. Thank you so much. I wish you great holidays. For me, the holidays are Christmas. So I wish you a Merry Christmas. But whatever you celebrate, go celebrate it. Yeah. You weren't like, oh no, John Reed is coming. I'm leaving Industrial Logic. Good to have you. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next year.